Hello, I am Sarah Millican and welcome to episode 82 of How to Be Champion Storytime Spectacular. Ta-da! That's my dog. I think he just barked at the ta-da. Hopefully he'll calm down in a second and I'll be able to continue. By the way, some of this is grey hair, which I am absolutely happy with, but some of it is dry shampoo that I couldn't be asked to rub in because I can't tell what's dry shampoo and what's grey hair at the minute. I think it looks alright, sort of like a stripe. Anyway, welcome. We are in the middle of the standard issue chapter. We started that yesterday, so let's carry on with that. We launched after 6 months of prep and I had a little cry at 7 AM on the 30th of September 2014 when we went live. We did it. We grew in size and took on more staff who all worked from home, dotted all over the UK. The email threads when a member of staff was ill or their bairn was poorly, of multiple supportive women offering to take their work on so they could go to bed or nurse their poorly sausage, always warmed my heart. Our following grew in numbers too. In the 2.5 years we were live, we had 10.8 million page views from 2.8 million unique users. So many wonderful messages from people telling us that finally there was something for them. We did a survey of our readers to see who they were, asking for suggestions and comments about why they read us. One that made me realise we were hitting the nail on the head was something I'll always remember. There's no shame in me for being unmarried, childless and a little bit fat. We were on the right track, largely down to Mickey, the editor, Hannah Dunleavy, the deputy editor, the assistant editors and our abundance of wonderful writers and illustrators. Those who had avoided women's magazines for similar reasons to me now had something that appealed to them. Page. Looking back, we were pretty green about the site market making money, but we were also pretty green about making a magazine, and we did that. We thought that if we made a brilliant magazine, people would read it, and if enough people would read it, we'd get people wanting to advertise with us. Sort of a if you build it, he will come. We took on a woman to get some advertising revenue in for us. She got dribs and drabs, but not much. In some ways, we were an easy sell. Very good stats, a lot of people reading, crazy good open rate on the weekly newsletter, but we were tricky. We didn't want to write about how brilliant a certain lipstick was just to get money from the lipstick manufacturer. Feels like lying. It is lying. And we only wanted to work with pro-women companies, no diet, pill, bullshit, etc. We dismissed subscription because it wasn't inclusive. We were for all women. That was our tagline, not for all women who could afford it. There have been times when I've had an out. We've all had times like that. And the last thing you want then is for yet another thing to be unavailable to you. Especially funny articles that might cheer you up, inspiring articles that might help, and columns about mental health that might make you feel less alone. What about a membership scheme where you can join for £10, £25 or £100 and get badges, stickers, maybe a tea towel? You can join the gang and know that your money is going towards the running costs of a magazine you read and love. If you bought a magazine in the newsagent for say £3 a month, that's £36 a year. Surely people will pay a tenner. Not all, obviously, maybe 10%. That would have saved the day. To give you an idea of figures, at the time of announcing that Standard Issue magazine was going offline and moving to a weekly podcast, we'd had 127,000 unique users in the previous month. Since we launched the memberships, we've had 1.5 million unique users. We have 2,000 members, some 0.13%. Conclusion, it is nigh on impossible to get people to pay for something that is free. If The Guardian is asking for money, what hope does little old us have? We approached some ad networks to help us. The first one involved a young bloke telling us he could definitely make us money if we ditched all of our principles. He didn't get a second call. Another seemed a bit like us, a woman running her own small company where the women worked remotely. She battled for us and got dribs and drabs, but not what we needed. She at no point covered the costs of employing her. As the boss and payer of wages and bills, I needed to think of a plan B. It was never about making profit. It just needed to cover its costs, and it wasn't. Standard Issue magazine operated in a massive loss every month. When I was in Australia on tour, I wondered if, rather than jacking it all in, we could cut our cloth accordingly. I'm not great at giving up, and there's a massive need for us. Standard Issue is vital. as a resource, an outlet, a voice, and proof that some people want something else that has previously not been provided. So what if we reduced the staff and an output but still existed, and weren't beholden to advertisers, and didn't have to say yes to companies we didn't think shared our ethos, and didn't have to write about love and lipsticks when the truth is I'm more of a balm girl. I talk too much for lipstick, and I'm not great at mascara as I rub my eyes a lot. I look like a makeup manufacturer's hungover gothic nightmare. What if we could still be bold and bright and smart and funny, just on a smaller scale? Subscribe on iTunes and Podomatic and Acast now to the Standard Issue podcast if you like excellent content for women, by women, about everything. We are there for you. And the How to Be Champion tip at the end of this chapter is, if something doesn't exist and you think it should, and you think you can, try. Magazines are funded, partially at least, by advertisers who want to sell you stuff, so it is not in their best interest to say, you know what, you're fine. Far better for them to point out what's wrong with you and then show you an advert that offers a solution. Trust your judgment. You're fine. And subscribe to the Standard Issue podcast, of course. I'm so proud of what we're doing. And that is the end of episode 82. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope you were interested in what happened with Standard Issue if you were previously a reader and hopefully are now a listener. Why don't you post in the comments below if you do listen to Standard Issue? I would love to see all of your lovely faces and all of your lovely comments. We love what we do. We're very proud of it, and it is going from strength to strength. So if you haven't had a listen to it, maybe take this as an opportunity. Just download it on Acast or iTunes, or I don't know about Podomatic. I've written it in here, but it doesn't ring any bells. Must do. And it's also, I think we're on Spotify as well, but have a look for us anyway and have a little listen, and let me know if you're listening in the comments below. Thank you very much for listening. Stay in the house. If you have to go outside, wear a mask, wash your fucking hands, and I will see you tomorrow. Lots of love. Bye-bye.
Hello, it's Sarah Millican here. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel to stay up to date with all of my latest videos. Don't forget to like, pop a comment below, and why not stick around to watch a few more? I'm sure those emails or those dishes can wait a bit longer.